The first 5 books of the Bible were written by Moses. In 4 of those books, Moses is the lead character. However, he was surrounded by others of great importance. One of the most important supporting characters in the books of Exodus, Numbers, and Leviticus was Moses' brother, Aaron. Aside from being Moses' older brother, who was Aaron, and why was he so important? I am Dave Chambers, the pastor of Manistee Bible Church. This question is another of our continuing series examining the major characters and events of the Bible. You can find other articles, videos, and radio programs in this series at the Bible overview page of everlastingtruths.com. When God commanded Moses to return to Pharaoh and demand the release of Israel from Egypt, Moses came up with a number of excuses. One of those excuses was that he was not eloquent. So God told Moses his brother Aaron would be his spokesman. Moses would tell Aaron what God said, and Aaron would tell Pharaoh. As a result, Aaron became Moses' right-hand man and a leader over Israel. After the Israelites left Egypt, they traveled to Mount Sinai, where God gave his law to the nation. While Moses was up on the mountain, the people of Israel became filled with fear. They went to Aaron and persuaded him to make them gods they could worship. So Aaron commanded Israel to give him gold, and he fashioned a golden calf. He presented that idol to Israel and told them it was Jehovah who had brought them out of slavery. Despite Aaron's sin, he was given the incredible privilege of being the first high priest of Israel. In that role, he led the Israelites in worship. He also made offerings on behalf of the Israelites. Most importantly, Aaron was the one who was to make atonement for the sin of the people on the Day of Atonement. As part of his responsibilities on that day, Aaron went into the Holy of Holies to sprinkle blood on the mercy seat. The Holy of Holies was the inner chamber of the tabernacle where the glory of God rested on the mercy seat over the Ark of the Covenant. No one was permitted to enter that room except the high priest, and he could only do so on one day of the year, the Day of Atonement. Aaron was the first to enter God's presence in the tabernacle and was permitted to do so every year for nearly 40 years. He had the incredibly important task of representing the Israelites before God and of making atonement for the sins of the nation. Later, during the Israelites' 40 years in the wilderness, Aaron sinned when he and his sister Miriam rebelled against their brother Moses. They were upset because Moses had married an Ethiopian woman, and they protested that God had also spoken through them. They tried to take authority from Moses, but God rebuked them severely for their rebellion against him. Aaron quickly repented and pled for God to be merciful to he and Miriam both. Aaron died in the wilderness before the children of Israel entered the land of Canaan. When the Israelites complained again that they were dying of thirst, he joined with Moses when Moses lashed out in anger. God told Moses to speak to a particular rock, and God would send water from that rock to satisfy all of Israel. However, Moses reacted in anger at the Israelites' continual complaining. He struck the rock, and God gave water. However, Moses and Aaron were both forbidden to enter the Promised Land because of their public disobedience to God. Shortly after that, Aaron died on a mountain named Hor. Moses, Aaron, and Aaron's son Eleazar went up the side of the mountain. While the congregation of Israel watched from below, Moses transferred the high priestly garments off of Aaron and onto Eleazar, making Eleazar the high priest of Israel. After this ceremony was completed, Aaron died, and all Israel mourned. Aaron was the faithful high priest of Israel. He was not perfect, but his failures did not rob him of his service or of his relationship with God. Aaron was a godly man, a valuable assistant to Moses, and a faithful servant of Israel. If you have more questions about the people in the Bible, you can find answers and ask your questions at everlastingtruths.com. Thank you for watching, and come back soon for more biblical answers to your questions.